Good morning, everybody. Figured I'd start my day with some cold beer. This is an actual Cold Beer Ranch Shoot Dang Fest edition, if you guys are interested in that. But today we're talking about the tiny house back there. You guys know the roof got ripped off. By the way, it's not a beer. This is an old bottle, and I put a V8 energy drink. You know, movie magic. So it's actually good for me. But you guys know that the tiny house got ripped apart in the winds and stuff that hit real bad. It was pretty freaking wild. What's up, roof? I don't know if y'all can see him or not, but it came out of nowhere. I didn't expect the winds to be like that. It's pretty gnarly. It was crazy. I mean, it came through and it just ripped almost all of the metal off, as you guys saw. And it's put us in a spot of, what do? Yes, we're going to rebuild. Yes, we're going to, you know, put a roof on and continue. We're not going to just stop. We're not going to, you know, tear it all down or anything like that. We just have to figure out how we want to do the roof. Are we going to change anything on it before doing the roof? It kind of opens up the ideas. At first, I was very, very upset about it, and I was not in the best mood, and I wasn't going to film, but I said, you know what? You guys deserve to know what goes on out here. We told y'all, you know, a while back, no matter what happens, you know, we'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And unfortunately, I tried a new way of putting the roof on this one. I watched some videos, and clearly, I shouldn't have done it that way. I should have done it like I did the barn. I did the barn different. And the barn was perfectly fine, which is pretty crazy to think, you know, a build that I did 100% by myself ended up being better than what, you know, we had help on doing this. So it's unfortunate, but it does open it up to us of how we would like to move forward. Again, you know, it really got me thinking is, do we need to change the roof up? Do we need to add a porch on before we do that? Do we need to change the design? I don't know. It just opened it up to where I even told Danielle, I said, dang, after doing the barn, I just want to wrap that house in metal. Just put metal around it and change the look. It'd match the barn, all that stuff. I don't think we'll do that. But, hey, it's up for discussion, and that's why I'm here talking to you guys, because I want this to be up for discussion, because you guys have been involved. You guys have literally watched the making of it, the struggles, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm kind of just at that spot where it is a fresh start. Again, my mindset was very, very bad when I found out what happened to it, but it does, again, open up the idea of hitting it fresh, doing it correctly. I'm glad that if the roof was going to fail, it failed now before we were in it. So I learned from that, and I'm going to do the roof like I did the barn. And from now on, I will be doing stuff like that. And that's the reality of doing YouTube, is most people on YouTube that are building houses and stuff don't know what they're doing. They are doing trial and error. They're learning from other people. And I don't want this to be hidden from you guys. I want you guys to know that we're going to learn from our mistakes. We're going to try something different. We're going to do it like the barn, most likely. And it should be fine. I think it'll be okay. It's just one of those that, again, I was very, very disappointed and very bummed about it. But at the end of the day, I am very thankful that no one was hurt. I'm very thankful the dogs weren't injured. I'm thankful Danielle wasn't here. I'm thankful it didn't bust the windows out. It could have easily busted out the sliding door, and I mean, there's a chance it hit it, but it was just hanging right next to it, so it could have been a lot worse. I would much rather replace a roof than replace the windows. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a fly walking. But I just figured, you know, just take y'all on the journey with me, you know. And I'm working on the fence build over there next to the barn. You guys, if you watch the video, now realize how wet it was. That's why we didn't work on the fence. That's why Danielle and I, whenever it snowed and iced over real bad and was raining, we worked on the shop. We worked on the room for Brandon. And then, when Brandon was here, we were going to work on the fence, and unfortunately, it was too wet, so we worked on something else. You guys will see that. I've already seen the video Brandon put together, and I can't wait for it to come out so you guys can watch. We put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and between the two of us, we knocked it out fast. One of the funny things I kind of seen are comments saying that Brandon helped me on the barn build, and it's pretty screwed up that I didn't show him in it. I should have gave him credit. The reality is, nobody helped me. Literally through the whole process, the only help I got was I was on the roof and Danielle handed me 3 screws, and I take a lot of pride in that. I take a lot of pride that I did the whole project by myself. I did that as a challenge, and it's actually even more of an accomplishment and an award, if you want to call it that, whenever people say there's no way you could have done it by yourself, you had to get help. And it makes me feel really good knowing that people think that's impossible to do by yourself, but I did it by myself, so I feel really good about that. Again, you guys will see in Brandon's video coming up the stuff that we worked on when he was here. Now we're really in crunch time because we're having a little bit of good weather, but we got to put a roof on the tiny house before the bad weather hits. Luckily, we had the dumpster. We were able to put the scraps and stuff in there, which saved us big time from having to try to dump it some other way. So, unfortunately, things happen, but everything does happen for a reason. And again, I'm very thankful that the roof came off before we moved in and I can fix it. So, hey, lesson learned. Again, at the end of the day, Danielle, she's a nurse, I'm a videographer, and it just happens we're trying to build our own tiny house, and things aren't always going to go perfect because we're not professional house builders, but we can at least show you guys, hey, however I did it, don't do it. Let's learn from the mistake. And I think that's truly the beauty of YouTube. So I am taking full advantage of this good weather. It's good drinking weather. Again, just V8 energy drink, but we're going to try to put the fence in as much as we can. I have to do a lot of fabricating for the fence because it's going to be different than what we expected. I'm going to have to go in and do some brush hogging. Still need to clear some land to get electric. I mean, it's just a lot out here, and we're trying to do what we can, but I have made a list. I'm trying to get a priority list going, and most of all, we need the animals moved because you guys know we have a bunch of goats that are pregnant, and they'll have the babies sooner than sooner than we realize. So trying to get that set up, trying to get all the animals out on grass and do all that, and then we'll come in, try to get electric. We'll work on the tiny house. I'm very, very excited to work on the tiny house again. It's just something that we've needed to do for a good while, but we just tried to get everything else in order, and hopefully you guys are starting to understand our reasoning for things. Again, the reason we didn't work on the barn or the fence was because the weather was so bad, the ground was so bad. If you guys watched the Crocker video, you saw that. And then we worked inside the shop because we thought that was the best time to utilize that time and build the room out for Brandon. Since Brandon comes up, we do want him to have a good place to stay. And yes, Brandon is happily married. He only comes up mainly on the weekends, and he might take some time off later and come up some more, but he comes up for the weekends. He needs his own space out here. We wanted to do that for him, and it'll always be a room we could utilize for whatever we want later. So that's why we did that during the bad weather snap, and now that it's good weather, it's back to working outside. It's drying up the ground, getting it all done. But guys, I'm freaking pumped with this. It saddened me, and I was very devastated at first, and it really got to me about the tiny house and the roof. But I realized the thing that matters the most is Danielle and I are okay, our animals are okay, and it could have been a lot worse. The winds could have messed up the animal stuff, could have messed up the whole barn. It could have really hurt some of us. So at the end of the day, I'm okay with how things played out because we're all okay. And I hope everyone around here in this area you know, didn't get any damages like we did. It was pretty crazy how hard the winds were on a bright sunny day. So it really really makes me think about the days we have tornadoes and stuff, which unfortunately bad weather is coming up. You know, the beginning of the year is pretty rough. So I, again, just a big believer in everything happens for a reason. But if you want something bad enough, you'll make it happen. And even with, you know, something like that holds us back, that took us back a step, but we'll move 2 steps forward. So nothing's going to stop us. I'm going to get the day going and get stuff on and rocking, drink a cold beer, and have a good one.